Okay, so week commencing the 27th. Well, 26th was a holiday, 27th. News-wise, you can see here, there's no big events, non-farm payroll type events, CPI type. Nonetheless, they are high impact, so have to be careful. Today's not too bad. In terms of news, it's not too bad. Price action is another story because it's the day after the holiday. Typically, from experience, they're not the best as well, so just gotta be treading carefully with that. FOMC meeting minutes. Leading up to that, I'm gonna have to visit my journal and see what kind of things to expect from the past experiences that we had with this particular event. Thursday, not too much, just minor. 1:30, by 9:30 everything will be over, so it'll be easy. Pending home sales, 10 a.m. as well. Friday again, 1:30 and 10 a.m. news. So let's look at the charts. So I'm looking at a few things here so far. The fact that we had a weak close here below the BISI and the below the BISI basically. Shift in market structure here as well. Okay, and you can see more speed towards the downside compared to the upside. With the exception of this was just a counterparty mechanism to basically get the buyers in, so we can pair the sell orders with them. But apart from that, look at this. We had some shady price action, not much movement, but we did have some great moves as well. So, we are looking like we're heavy to the downside so far. Shift in market structure on the daily as well as the 4-hour. Do still have these equal highs, okay? If obviously, for whatever reason it goes up and let's say the bias downwards is not correct, then obviously this is just an easy drawn liquidity to aim for. Second to this SIBI. Now the thing is, we had a shift in downside market structure. We opened up, it was a holiday week, okay, which we didn't really do much, you can see, which is very expected. Small range here, nothing notable. We took the previous daily high, we're premium so far. Note the fact that from the open, we're focusing on premium, which is good. For a bearish idea, this is good. As long as we're right about the bearish idea, which I'm not sure, I'll have to wait and see. Like I said, I don't normally call the tops, but coupled with the fact we had the shift in market structure, coupled with also the fact that this BISI has been run over with a body, closing below the actual BISI, that is a positive signal. The weekly is rejecting the old NWOG as well. So all these things are adding up. So considering that, yes, and the fact that we are premium from the open, it does look like that we can have that downwards move that I'm anticipating. Maybe the distribution may not start until the FOMC. Normally that's the big event. So that's something I can look for, but I also need to, because this area is that critical area where it can easily go the other way as well, because it's just so close to the higher level, the ERL premium levels. So what would invalidate that? First of all, it would be the NWOG, a daily body that closes above the NWOG. That would be first signature. That would invalidate the bearish bias. And I would say the second would probably be if it starts to find some support on this inversion. This CB basically starts to use it as a support, as an inversion. That would correspond to the midpoint of this will correspond to this NWOG as well. You'll probably see it's around here basically, and then the dogs. So that will be a telltale sign. I don't want to see a daily as well as a 4-hour closing above this CB, because if it does that, then it's gonna probably hit this, and then the bias we had for these highs over here, these CBs will just come into play. The weekly, fair value gap high here. So that's for that scenario, but most likely I'm gonna stick to what I know best at the moment. Now it's Tuesday. I advise we just let it open and just do its thing and just observe at the moment, because that will give us some key information on which we can then base some great trading ideas off. should it lend us those ideas, then we can use that for a good high risk reward trade, high reward trade, a low resistance run. But yeah, that's my bias. So pretty much this basically is what I'm expecting. So there's one more thing actually I just want to add in. We are not high probability at the moment, okay? Even for that down move, again, I'm not saying it's going to go down. It could literally just be a pullback as per the higher time frame. If you look at the monthly, you have this BISI here with this small volume imbalance on the monthly. But as you can see, so far it looks like should we close here, which we should in 3 days, if the candle manages to close here, it would be a very bullish signal actually that we're going to hit these highs. So the entire point of having this move here, could simply just be to stir up a fake sentiment for counterparty purposes. So because we're holding strong here in terms of hard time frame, that's what I normally derive my analysis from. So on the weekly fair value gap, you're still here. So that does speak volume. So again, what will easily confirm that it's about to take this high out and go for the high of this and here is that we're gonna close a body 4-hour or daily above the NWOG, as well as this BISI on the daily here. Okay, even today we might do that. So that could be one of them where it just takes off. It could be, yeah. Why couldn't it? Because we already had this down move here. So it would make sense that it just goes up now, because normally you would expect it to have opened in some kind of a discount. Maybe this has already done the purpose of that, and now we're gonna just explode higher, which is why, and this ties into it, we've engineered these equal highs. So that could be a really easy draw on liquidity. Even if I am going long today for the purpose of, I think it's gonna go down, but counterparty, so it's gonna go up for a counterparty, I can still long this. So I'm still aiming for that basically. End of the day, no matter how you slice it, I'm still aiming for the higher probability draw on liquidity. Okay, with or without a bias, because it's again the bias, but it's with the counterparty sentiment of the early week accumulation and manipulation that we have. So what I'm trying to say is this here is high probability. This is a magnet that you want to pay your attention to, where the price is going to be drawn. So that would be it.